Assalamu alaikum. Today on Neuron Academy, we discuss Taqi al-Din and the pursuit of divine precision. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah. So let's jump right in with this quote because it really gets to the very heart of our story today. You see, long before the Industrial Revolution, a brilliant Muslim engineer understood something really profound, that the future wasn't just about big, grand ideas. No, it was about getting the small things exactly right. To really appreciate his genius, we've got to first understand the world he was living in, a world he was desperately trying to fix, a world that was, well, fundamentally imprecise. I mean, just try to imagine it, a world where keeping time was basically a rough guess, where the star charts that sailors used were just full of errors. And engineering? It was kind of more of an art form than a real science. Without exactness, science pretty much stalled out. Navigating the seas was incredibly dangerous, and building complex machines was, well, it was almost impossible. The world was just crying out for order, for some way to measure things properly. And it's right into this world that our central figure steps, Taqi al-Din ibn Maruf. Living in the 16th century Ottoman world, he saw this pursuit of accuracy as more than just a scientific problem. For him, it was actually a spiritual duty. The foundation for his entire mission? A deep, deep mastery of mathematics. He really understood it as the language of the universe itself, the code that underpins all of creation. He then took that mathematical language and he applied it to engineering, the practical art of actually building and shaping the world around us. And his work? It reached for the heavens themselves. He applied his incredible precision to astronomy, painstakingly correcting the star charts of his day. And finally, he dove deep into mechanics, mastering that intricate dance of gears and levers. But here's the thing that's so profound. He didn't see these as separate fields at all. For Taqi al-Din, math, engineering, astronomy, mechanics, it was all just one unified system for understanding the magnificent order of creation. And this is the crucial point right here. His motivation was profoundly spiritual. He truly believed that to create something with precision was to honor the precision of the Creator. Every single measurement, every perfectly crafted gear, it was an act of devotion. So how did this whole philosophy turn into real, tangible things? This is where Taqi al-Din's faith got translated into machines that were, honestly, centuries ahead of their time. He designed and documented this absolutely incredible array of devices. We're talking highly accurate mechanical clocks, really sophisticated machines for raising water, and, get this, even early concepts for a rotisserie that was driven by steam. And these weren't just little curiosities, they were foundational tools for a brand new age of science. His clocks are just a brilliant example of this obsession with detail. They were among the very first in the world to break down an hour into 60 minutes, and then break down a minute into 60 seconds. That level of accuracy was a monumental leap for his time, and this was centuries before it became standard in Europe. He was, in effect, creating the infrastructure for modern science. So why this relentless chase for exactness? What drove him? It was all driven by the Islamic principle of ihsan, excellence. To do something with ihsan means to do it as if you see Allah, because even though you don't see him, you know that he sees you. So for Taqi al-Din, a poorly made machine wasn't just a technical failure. No, it was a spiritual one. Carelessness was a betrayal of faith. So what does all of this really mean for us today? Well, the legacy of this mindset, this incredible dedication to exactness, it's literally all around us. The entire modern world we live in runs on this legacy. Think about it. The microchips in our phones, the satellites that guide our cars, the robotics in our factories, none of that is possible without precision engineering. It all rests on that foundational principle that thinkers like Taqi al-Din championed. The details matter, profoundly. When we look at all the marvels of our age, it's so easy to just take them for granted. But it's worth pausing for a moment to ask, how did we actually get here? It wasn't an accident. It was built piece by precise piece, by those who came before us. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial message from his life. It's a message that's directed squarely at us today. In our crazy, fast-paced world, we often just chase innovation for its own sake. But Taqi al-Din's legacy teaches us a really vital lesson. True innovation isn't just about being loud or being first. It's about discipline. Our ancestors didn't just rush, they were refined. They were patient, they were exact, and they were excellent. And here's the core takeaway. Speed without accuracy, that can lead to destruction. And in the very same way, faith without excellence, without that ihsan, it just remains incomplete. Islam demands balance. Taqi al-Din proved that when our worship inspires our precision, entire civilizations can advance. He built machines for an age that wasn't even ready for them, all driven by this deep desire to honor his creator through his craft. So the question for each of us is this: if he mastered the art of precision back then, what craft will you perfect now? Presented and created by Nurin Studio.